Hello, and welcome back to the Midgard Press. My name's Jay. So now we're going to be doing the random encounters within the Magna Woods. Again, we are still doing our journey. So as the GM, as your players are continuing their travel across the Misty Vale, it is your job to give them something fun. And believe me, this stuff's fun. So another D12. The first 1 through 6, nothing happens. Okay. But number 7 of the D12, flying creature. A dreadful noise is heard from above, and the player characters are struck by a bizarre sight. A cow is flying backwards over the treetops with anguished moos. On its back sits a horned creature who is pulling the poor animal's tail while screeching triumphantly. With a successful Myth and Legends roll, the player characters can recall stories of demonic beings traveling between the worlds on bewitched cattle. The creature in question is a lesser servant demon who has seeped into the world through the Temple of the Purple Flame. Yes, you all just heard it. Demonic beings traveling between worlds on bewitched cattle. I wish there was an image for this because that would be fantastic to look at. 8 of the D12, Ancient Milestone. A low obelisk of weathered granite can be seen through the trees. It is particularly covered in moss and undergrowth, but at the top is a pointy crown, possibly horned, carved into the stone. Player characters who examine the obelisk succeed with a spot hidden, find a secret compartment that holds a beautiful gold ring with a stylized crown. The ring contains a magic seal with the light magic trick, which is triggered by the phrase Eladin, Lord of the World, give us light. 9 of the D12, Harpies. The player characters hear shrieking voices. Give me! No, give me! No, I want the little ones! Suddenly, 3 harpies swoop down and attack them, primarily targeting the player character who carries the most metal. If 2 harpies are defeated, the last one escapes, but may come back later with more of its kind. Harpies are a lot of fun because they do the ranged combat, and some of your players can't do ranged. It's awesome. 10 of the D12, a cry for help. The player characters hear high-pitched cries let's start that over. The player characters hear high-pitched cries for help echoing through the tree trunks. If they follow the sounds through the dense vegetation, they find a group of robed figures armed with scimitars. They are carrying a squealing goblin who is chained to a thick log. The figures are cultists in the service of Sothmog. They are on their way to the Temple of the Purple Flame, where they intend to throw the poor goblin into the demon portal to see how the demonic world affects living matter. They are as many as player characters and have stats as per page 105 of the rulebook. A demonic goblin. That could be interesting. 11 of the D12, Haunted Glade. The player characters wander into a haunted glade and are surrounded by an unnatural darkness. Suddenly, a shimmering blue woman with white or empty eye sockets materialize. The ghost, page 87 in the rulebook, attacks without mercy, but can be appeased with a successful persuasion. In that case, the ghost says it fell by a murderous blade a long time ago, but that it remains, its remains lie scattered in this glade. It takes a successful spot hidden to find all the bones. Burying the remains brings the piece to the ghost, but you can reward the player character by having it recount a legend about the Misty Vale, page 17. Number 12 of the D12, Undead Guard Patrol. The path is blocked by skeletons, as many as the player characters, in antiqued armor. The crumbling ruin of a small witch tower can be seen through the trees. If the player characters roll or draw closer, the captain shouts at them in an archaic dialect. The successful languages roll interprets the words as toil and death to the rebels. If the player characters pay a toll to pay the toll of 1 gold coin or convince the skeletons that they too hate the rebels, which requires a successful persuasion roll, they are allowed to pass. Otherwise, they must fight. All skeletons have stats as warriors on page 96 of the rulebook, but are equipped with short spears and chainmail. And then 2 little tidbits. The adventure sites. The adventure sites in this book are marked with the GM map on page 4. With the help of rumors, see page 17 and the adventure cards, the players should be able to locate the sites on the large map of the valley. Do not make them difficult to find. And then random encounters. Once per shift, whenever it seems appropriate, you can roll a random encounter table, or roll on the random encounter table. In this chapter, you will find 5 different tables, one for each part of the Misty Vale. You can also select a suitable encounter instead of rolling randomly. So we've already covered around Outskirt and then in the Magna Woods. There's going to be Iron Forest, which will be next episode. The Haunted Marshes, the episode after that. And then the last one at the foot of the mountains. Now, I fully encourage you as the GM to select which one seems appropriate. It could be fun. Go ahead and giving them number 8, the Ancient Milestone. And then depending on how much your party decides to role play, I would then maybe go with 7, the Flying Creature, so that way you can see how they react to that. But the Haunted Glade could really be fun. Number 10, it's more or less, they don't necessarily have to jump in to save the goblin because goblins in this setting are bad. But they're not all bad, of course. 9 with the harpies. It's always fun to throw harpies at your players. And then 12 with the Undead Guard Patrol. I know players, they typically just fight. They hardly ever, hold on, what's going on here? But each player is different and each group is completely different. So yeah, like this video, subscribe, check the description. Don't forget to check the description. There's links to my Patreon and my Ko-Fi in there. But go ahead and comment down below which of these encounters seems interesting to you as the GM. Which one do you think you would have more fun with? And also, if you have other ideas that you could incorporate, because I want to make this a larger list. I'd like to make it a D20. So I need 8 more ideas. But yeah, go ahead and subscribe as well. Don't forget. So until next time, my fellow nerds, live on and game on.